Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination fly. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, the ultimate pop culture lair. Come on down and get your geek a gift at the Sci-Fi Center. We got almost everything a geek could want at the Sci-Fi Center. You name it, we got it. Star Trek, Star Wars, Marvel, DC, and everything in between at the Sci-Fi
Happy Tuesday and welcome to a very weird presentation, simply because I generally haven't been doing these Daredevil things this late in the evening, but we fell behind. So we're trying to pick up some ground, make up some grounds as we head into the March 4th premiere date of Daredevil Born Again. So we are showing episodes 4 and 5 tonight, and then we're going to try to make up some more ground later on this week. Probably on the weekend. I'm not sure. Like I said, we still have season 3 to go through. So right now we are basically of the 39 episodes. We are 13. We're halfway through. We are 15 episodes in. So yeah, we're a little bit less than halfway. So we're gonna have to pick up the pace to get all these done in order to be able to what's going on here? Okay. In order to be able to get this going. So I am gonna go ahead because these episodes this long, this late, I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and then I'll have Brad join me on. So right now we're on season 2, episode 4, a penny and dime. So on the count of 3, we're gonna start. And I'm watching the Disney Plus version with no commercials. So on the count of 3, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and play.
Have you already started the episode?
Yeah, this one's an hour long, so I just went ahead and got going.
Okay, got you. What's the timestamp?
2:55.
All right, Jim.
He just stabbed that fool.
How's it going, sis? How's it going, Dorgan? I saw New Captain America. Liked it for the most part. You guys see that Bradley portion. The movie really had me, and I'll probably watch Falcon or something. Yeah, again, I thought it was so, but he was good in it. How's it going, Chuck Cage? And here we have our intro.
Yeah, you're right. So you're right on time.
I was working at Orange Juice Factory, but I got a can because they put the squeeze on me because I couldn't
like Chuck.
Irish mob right on force. Yes, they are.
For those Patreons that want to join us for tonight, the link is in the Patreon.
Yeah, I do too. I do too, Aaron. By the way, does it sound like my voice is going back to normal? I really hope so.
Yeah, you sound like your normal Muppet self instead of the sickly Muppet self.
Yeah, it's just been a struggle getting back to normal. It's like I feel like I'm mostly there. I might embarrass one. Ill-advised, Droga. Very ill-advised. You never know. If you do that, you might lose your head. There were some ancient rocks discovered. People said, God, you're just on fire tonight, Chuck.
Listen, I enjoyed this movie. I mean, was it Da Vinci of MCU movies? No, but it did what it needed to do. It did in every respect, it did what it needed to do to move the story along. And when you look at it as the MCU has presented it to you as a piece of a much larger journey, it did exactly what it needed to do, no more, no less. So that's how I felt about it. Plus, the action was pretty good. Even
I
if
don't
there
know.
are some common sense narratives that don't make sense,
Yeah.
that's half the MCU. So
See, I don't know. I feel like it really could have benefited by having the Hulk in it, though, with like all the Incredible Hulk.
well, how though? Because nobody saw that movie.
Well, yeah, but
The
I
only
mean,
way you put the Hulk in there is you put the Ruffalo version on there, and who wants to see that anymore than they have to?
well, if you make him like the Incredible Hulk version, that's like then you're onto something.
Well, then you're straying away from the story you're already telling. I would have, if I would have written it to where the only way to to stop Red Hulk would be to absorb the anger or rage and turn Mark Ruffalo's Hulk back into the old Hulk. But that's just me. But I thought that was one of my problems that I have with it is that there was too much harkening back to a movie that nobody saw.
Well, that's what I'm getting saying. It's like, well,
Yeah, yeah,
if you are going to harken back to the Incredible Hulk, then have the Incredible Hulk in it.
yeah. But then again, you don't need the Incredible Hulk to tell a Red Hulk story. They literally went years without those two, headed into each other. So
Do you think they ever will like have them fight now? Like they'll
who
have them
knows?
meet?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's a
If
real
I had
missed
to bet, if I had
opportunity.
to bet, yeah.
That's a real missed opportunity if they never do that. It's actually kind of weird to think, you look at like the Hulk's kind of trajectory in live action, and like with the show we're watching right now. I mean, Daredevil. He's the first time you see him in live action. He's was on Trial of the Incredible Hulk, which is like,
Yeah, but nobody.
yeah,
You were too. I was a teenager. That may as well never have happened. And then the Hulk went door and that fur coat
no,
wearing door.
no, that one, that was like, for the time, that was actually very,
Yeah,
it
for
was
the time, yeah, but dude, it's like the old Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man when he's doing all that electric company hand motions and stuff, man. It's kind of crazy. All right, no, yes and no, Braden. I would not mind seeing them team up. I want it limited though. I don't want them in the other one's movie too much more. A guest appearance, a cameo, yeah, but if there's a Daredevil movie, I want Daredevil to be the main character and the main focus. And if there's a Spider-Man movie, I want it to be a Spider-Man movie with Spider-Man as the main focus. So if you can balance it and achieve those, yeah. But those guys are both alphas in their own shows or movies. I would rather just keep it that way personally.
I do actually dig in what we've seen in the trailer for Born Again that they are they're basically kind of like they're really they're latching onto the whole catchphrase I'm a really good lawyer from No Way Home. I like they're picking that football up and running with it because that's like that fits that fits Daredevil. So I like that they are like they're not just like leaving that as like kind of like a sort of like one liner in the moment for his No Way Home cameo. It's like that, that could actually be something that really becomes a staple of Daredevil now.
He wasn't very good as a Hulk, to be honest with you.
Oh, I
Not really.
disagree there,
He's
man.
not replaceable. He's not anybody. He's very replaceable. He's very replaceable.
This is why we got to do a watch of the Incredible Hulk. Something like that is for me is the MCU's most underrated movie.
It's rated right where it belongs. It's actually rated right, not bad, but not. It was almost like they were about to start flying, and they're just still running on the runway. That wasn't the MCU that the Hulk we have in now. I think Ruffalo is a better actor than Edward Norton. The problem is the writing does not support Ruffalo.
Well, like Ruffalo, he's had like what's he at? He's at Avengers, and I think you can make an argument like Age of Ultron is pretty good for like his Hulk.
That was the last good Hulk.
Yeah, it's been all downhill from there.
But that's not his fault. They've written him poorly too. So, but Edward Norton is. I mean, not to knock him as an actor, but that Hulk, there's nothing remarkable about his Hulk that you couldn't have replaced him with, and that's what they did. It just was I think it's rated exactly where in the 35 movies, it's rated right where it needs to be. And like I said, it surprised me of why there was so much, and well,
it surprised me they're doing
it was an okay movie. I would give it an okay.
Well, it surprised me in the sense that they have the franchise has like largely kind of left it by the wayside. It's like, okay, it's like I don't have a problem with them. Like, again, considering I think it's their most underrated movie. I don't have a problem with them like trying to tie up loose ends from it, but you're doing it 17 years after that and without the title character. So.
And if there was any desire to do anything with that character, you would have done it sooner than 17 years from now.
Yeah.
Like I said, not a bad movie, but I don't think it's in the upper pantheon of anything. I think it's right where it needs to be.
Yeah, Incredible Hulk of Brave New World.
What's that?
Incredible Hulk of Brave New World. Because Brave New World I didn't hate. I
enjoyed Brave New World way more than I enjoyed Incredible Hulk.
Nah, I think I flipped that, man.
Like I said, I think they're both okay movies. One of them is, I don't want to say mediocre when it comes to Incredible Hulk, but there's a reason why it's where it is. It's just not a remarkable movie. It's not bad, and by any means, don't get me wrong. It's not a remarkable movie. It's not something I watch over and over again. It was what it was.
Brad, I find it funny, despite Joss Whedon being a dirtbag, he understood the Hulk more than the.
I don't. Well, him being a dirtbag is not relevant to the work. We don't report on Joss Whedon's extracurricular activities. I report on the finished product. I leave it the dirt sheets and the sleeves sheets to discuss the other stuff.
True story here. This is gonna probably you're gonna love this, Aaron. I remember when Avengers, when the first one, when that came on Blu-ray, and I got that like right when it came out, or when I bought it, when I got home, the first thing I did with that disc is I put it in my PS3, and I go right to the scene of the Hulk beating the shit out of Loki, and I turn on the commentary because I wanted to and Whedon said something like he says something on there like, if I did nothing else with my life over the last 2 years but like make that, I'd die happy, man. So it's like, credit's due.
No, we're not watching the Defenders. We're behind on the actual,
Yeah, because I was kind of out of commission for a little bit there.
And I just don't feel personally. I don't feel that you need the Defenders from, I know plenty of people who I've turned the show on to finally that are watching it through, and they don't. It's an option. But I don't think we need it in the.
It's still so crazy to me that that there are people like only now seeing it. Because it's like it wasn't I marketed at all, but I can only like attribute that to what you kind of said, where it's like the MCU circa 2015 for like most of like the central audience for it was like the MCU was what you were seeing theatrically.
You ate what they fed you. You didn't go to the offshoot restaurant with the similar steak. You ate what that chef was giving you, and so it's going to take some time. Like I said, I expect our views for this show, because to jump after March 1st.
Oh, totally.
But no, yeah, I listen. Once we get, I think Punisher is more relevant for me as far as going into Born Again than Defenders is. So we're gonna go with that. And if we have some time, who knows?
Daniel says, I'm a big Incredible Hulk 2008 fan. The elements of those events we did in that movie I really enjoyed, but for most newer MCU fans, exactly. Or it's just like, and that's why I say it's like if you are gonna like harken back to like your second movie 17 years later, that the franchise itself has like all but distanced itself from. It's like it's just such a weird thing to do. Or it's and again, it didn't ruin the movie, but
No, I mean, like I said, they did it in a way to where you didn't really need to see Incredible Hulk to really have fun with that movie.
yeah, you know, it's not like critical viewing, but again, it's like it feels like kind of like a halfway sort of package for me personally, where it's like if you have so much Incredible Hulk elements of it, but it's like everything but like the title character. Aaron, oh, here's a good one. Aaron asks a question: do you have to watch She-Hulk?
No,
Well,
absolutely not.
not only don't you have to, it's advisable you don't probably.
If you guys, you brand new people who will be watching this at a decent hour and watching us for the very first time, it's debatable. I don't think you have to, but it's debatable for Defenders. It is not debatable that you don't need She-Hulk. You just go ahead and pass that up. What is Deborah? Has Deborah Ann Wall been in anything else?
Actually, she of course she's been in other things, but like her biggest thing, the first thing I saw her in outside of Daredevil was what was that called? Escape Room. For Escape Room, which is kind of like the Saw sort of a kindred spirit.
And she's really tall. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's like an ex-Marine or something. So she hit the gym in that, and it shows. Like she's pretty jacked in that. So Escape Room, for those of you who haven't seen it, it's kind of like it's very like Saw-esque, kind of like a horror movie, and you got a sequel. It's pretty good at that. She-Hulk is an embarrassment, and makes Howard the Hulk look.
Howard the Hulk. Okay.
Oh, do you mean Howard the Duck? I don't know if I go that far. I don't know if I go that far, man. Like Howard the Duck.
Is watchable.
She-Hulk is a lot of things, but it's not worse than Howard the Duck. I definitely do not agree with this, Mighty Rex.
Hold on, I got a lot of screens there.
She-Hulk is more enjoyable.
The Ant-Man movie is just there's one thing. There's one thing with being a letdown. Ant-Man and the Wasp was a letdown, but She-Hulk was just bad.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I love that actress. I think she could make a great She-Hulk. I don't think they should be over for the character.
Do you think? Do you think we'll see her again? Do you think we'll see her again as She-Hulk?
Yeah, I think I see her in Avengers. Unfortunately, I just hope when they do see her in Avengers, they take care of the character. They didn't do it.
Yeah. Well, with the Ant-Man comparisons, because the first one was that was the only one I really liked of the Ant-Man movies. The second two I just found very forgettable.
See, I like the second one. I like the second one where she has to go get him, and they have to sneak him out of the apartment, and Ant's there playing the drums. Actually, it was the third one was just not, I don't know.
One, of course, the third one had kind of like the unfortunate situation, like getting tied up in all the, the Jonathan Majors drama, and even that now is he's kind of beginning his comeback, and it's kind of like some of that's been,
And see, the hilarious thing about that is those kind of things didn't hurt that movie.
No.
Do you know what that hurt that movie? No A-listers. Because guess what? Even a bad movie can make a lot of money for Marvel if it has their A-list characters in it. Thor is a perfect example of a franchise that does not deserve the hundreds of millions of extra dollars it makes, but it's an A-lister.
Oh, okay. You're gonna have to confirm or deny this for me, man. Yeah, Enosh loves Howard the Duck. He thinks it's a fun movie.
He does. I was on his show the other night. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he did it.
Yeah,
stream with
and
Max
he actually he's posted a couple of videos with Rhea and Max recently.
Yeah, they're together. They were hanging out in Michigan.
And he found that BVS false god McFarlane Toys action figure, and he was just over the moon about that. it's so weird because it's like how much I've streamed with William. It's like I only streamed with Enosh like one time, and I think it was on like on the Vodka stream.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like old times.
No, I've watched his stream plenty. That's where that and Film Junkies Patreon. That's where I first like saw William before like he and I connected. For anybody who wasn't aware.
Yeah,
Like
I remember.
knew
I
of,
actually was on that channel when he took his leave of absence. I was literally running the channel.
yeah. I mean, so I knew of William for for quite a while before we connected.
That's some really good shooting by him at that
Yeah,
range
well,
with that kind of weapon.
Yeah, I'd really be interested, like what the because obviously all the actors they do all kinds of like stunt training and martial arts training for these roles, but like with anyone playing the Punisher, they've shown like in behind the scenes stuff. It's like they end up they do a lot of like tactical training. They do a lot of weapons training. They do to an extent they kind of go to boot camp for it. They kind of go like they do a little bit of military training for it. So it's really kind of I'd be curious to kind of see like an in-depth like kind of like breakdown of like prepping for the Punisher, where it's like how different that is from like any other superhero role, where it's not just you're not just getting jacked and you're not just learning fight choreography, you're also like learning how to handle ballistics, you're learning how to handle like tactical stuff, and it's really different kind of a training process. Aaron says, I think one of the reasons why nobody watched the Marvel Netflix stuff is because it was part of the MCU, and Feige said that no one bothered to watch it like myself.
Yeah, I mean, once you established that Netflix wasn't the MCU, that was where the bulk of its audience. That's why you're going to see a lot of people watching it now, because, like I said, not a lot of people watch the Daredevil series, but the audience of Daredevil Netflix is microscopic compared to even the mid MCU. It's just they had that kind of bandwidth.
I think also it's like again like when Daredevil started and when Marvel Netflix started, because that was Daredevil like dropped like a month before Age of Ultron, and that was that was like right when they were like in the in the full swing of the Infinity Saga, and so that was really kind of like the MCU. I think probably most people would say that was like when they were kind of like in their peak in terms of like in terms of like the audience engagement and how much of a grip the franchise like had on.
Did not watch the series for those reasons. But hey, here's the good thing: it's still Marvel, and here we are.
Well, like I said, it's like when it comes to like all cape shit this year, it's like movies and TV. Daredevil Born Again. That's my number one for anticipation.
See, for me, like I said, it's Fantastic Four. Now, if we're adding TV shows into it, then I would have to put Daredevil Born Again. I would actually put that ahead of Superman. But if we were just doing movies, it goes Fantastic Four,
God,
Superman.
you reminded me now. It's like I can't now. I officially can't say I'm looking forward to the next season of Superman and Lois. Oh man, that's so sobering. How. I mean, like the last episode says, it goes by so fast. I mean, that show is like,
dude. The further I get away from that finale, the easier it is. That little sorry monologue that they slapped at the end.
no. To be that's like
that's Highway to Heaven. I was looking for Michael Landon and Jiminy Cricket and all the dead people that come back to life and welcome him into the cake with the rainbow. The rainbow bridge, like, all the dogs, your dog is waiting for you.
I was in tears, man. But really, it's like because it started. Superman and Lois started like late February of 21, and it wraps up December of last year. So
just the circumstances that the company.
But even then too, like if it had gone like the 7 seasons they wanted, it's like it would be that would still be fairly. It would still feel fairly quick because we'd be going into season 5 this year, and we'd have like it'd be wrapping up in 27, so that's 6 years, but still again I don't think that would feel very quick.
I don't think that show should have ever been planned to go 7 years. I think 5 years for that show is for shows like that are enough, unless you are going to move it to a different platform and spend like 3 times the money on it. I think 5 years is enough.
One and
it gets you,
And they've talked about, they like, well, I mean, other stuff they wanted to do. Like they had mentioned, the makers have mentioned they did intend to, had it continued, they would have brought in Darkseid, which is like everything with DC that has Darkseid keeps getting truncated, and it pisses me the hell off.
At least I got to see him. That's I
Yeah,
got to see
and
him.
and it delivered. It's like,
but yeah, I was given that show. Like I said, I was given that show as long as it was on the CW network 5 seasons. Now, if you were going to start and finish it on HBO or like a Max, then yeah, we're going 6 to 7. But yeah,
I mean, there is that 32-year gap that he, that we get to hear about in that monologue. So they can, that's like, there's all kinds of stuff they can play around with if they want.
If I ever took over that show and decided to resurrect it again, that's the first thing I'm doing. I'm going to open up the show with me talking. That last 10 minutes of the finale, that shit never happened. Here we go. But it had some good moments. Listen, I'm not as big a fan of the show as you are, but there were some moments in it that validated its existence.
The other night on ACS stream, the Dolph Lundgren was the first. Or you're talking about, he mentioned that on there? Well, I mean, yeah, he was.
I was on that stream dogging him about that.
Oh yeah,
because I told them, I put in capital letters, the only live action Punisher, because nighttime for her was like early in the morning, because those fools stream at like 4 a.m. in the morning.
Well, because he's like, working at the graveyard at Planet Fitness. So
I stay up for his show though, so I'm dedicated.
Yeah.
Him and Vampire Nostra.
Yeah, again, it's like next time I'm in Atlanta or next time he's in Savannah, we got to go to Starbucks or something, because I never realized until like 6 months ago that we were that close.
Just knowing that all these people are gonna fucking just get it. It's just like, this is not a spoiler alert, people. I'm sorry. If you think any of these people is going to end well for any of these people in this episode, yeah, sure.
Saw the first Avengers. I can't remember whether I saw it in 3D or not.
I saw it in standard, and it's one of the probably top 5 greatest movie experiences. Not the movie was great, but it was. I showed you guys the pictures of that when we were there at the Palms. We were promoting it, and everybody was there. That was just
that my
Avengers there.
At that theater, in my theater, then I mean, people were like parking up on the grass in the parking lot. I mean, that's how much
it was. Such that electricity for that movie was so great. I loved it. And then when that reveal at the end, because back then nobody was fucking up everybody.
This reminds me.
Nobody saw Thanos coming. Nobody saw Thanos.
No. This reminds me of it reminds me. This scene reminds me of maybe it's because there's a resemblance in the actor, but it reminds me of Vigo beating up Willem Dafoe in the first John Wick when he's pissed off that John Wick killed his son. I think it's because there's a resemblance in the actor.
Edward Norton's a pain in the ass, and a lot of that's another problem with him is I've heard he's kind of difficult to deal with.
He likes to be like very hands-on with in terms of like in terms of the scripting and characterization and
it's hard to direct too.
Yeah, and there was definitely a lot of that going on with the Incredible Hulk, and it's weird. It's funny saying that too, because he also has a reputation for being for not like having like a celebrity mindset. Like he still takes the subway. He kind of avoids the limelight. So it's kind of like he's a little bit of a challenge collaboratively on a movie set, but he's not like a prima donna. He's like hard to work with, but not in the way that usually implies.
Yeah, a lot of people are like they just pass on him.
Yeah, that's why again, when Cameron finally gets to lead a Battle Angel 2 off the ground, it's like seeing him as Vector. After that reveal,
I get no sense that that's coming anytime soon.
But you said one time a while back, you said it's like you think, how'd you put it? It's like you said something like it's like it shouldn't get a sequel, but it probably will because it's Cameron.
Yeah, that movie doesn't merit a sequel. I guess there's other people on the scale that love it, but that's fine. But I didn't see any business reason why that would. garner.
The business reason is Cameron doesn't take no for an answer.
Yeah, but as far as like he's going to have to pay for it. He's going to have to deal, which he could more than capable of doing it. But the fact that it hasn't happened, it to me tells me it's not the highest priority for anybody right now.
Well, I mean, they have made very public comments about it. So that, and there have been discussions, is my understanding. So it's not a matter of it's just like there's been no movement at all behind the scenes. A lot of it also kind of comes down to it's like he's just so the Avatar sequels are just so grandiose that's just like taken, and that's why he didn't end up directing it, because it's like Avatar is, and that's the other thing about Cameron too, is that at anytime anything he makes it's so grand and so
that movie was
spectacular. It literally takes like 10 years to get off the ground.
Yeah, that movie cost $200 million before ad budget, and it made about $400 million, which is a decent chunk of money. But I remember the ad campaign for that was one of the most expensive I've ever seen. He doesn't put out movies that he doesn't get put ad money out, and he makes them pay for it. So that movie probably broke even, but still, it's James Cameron. I mean, you put it, you keep him happy. You'll get a sequel. I just don't know when. But here, hey, listen, I never thought I was going to get an accountancy
yeah,
sequel.
that's true.
To be honest with you, as much as I like that movie financially,
it did okay, but it did
it didn't knock the wallpaper off the walls.
I mean, it took 9 years, but better late than never. I mean,
I never thought. Yeah. I never thought that movie was getting a sequel, and that it was great.
It makes you wonder about like other sequels that Ben Affleck would be involved with.
He's gonna have to produce them.
No, I mean that's my nightly restore resolve quota one-liners.
Yeah, he doesn't own those IPs. He owns the account.
I get it. I'm just like making a one-liner out of that. It's like I mean, hey, other it's like, well, this happens, so it's like, and that really that's always.
I guess I think we're gonna probably be old men before we get that resolved. To be honest with you, our older men in like this.
And one from Aaron here. Question was, is Frank Castle's ethnicity? Because I feel like this live action Punisher seem to be on the mark of Hampa accuracy. Well, he is. I mean, he's
Italian.
Yeah, his original name is Frank Castiglione.
Yeah.
So and they've well, I don't know if they've like gone that deep into like his Italian background and like prior versions. So this is like the first one like really kind of puts that in there.
It's not Italian. It doesn't. I mean, he's
Lundgren is literally a Swede. And,
now we go with fucking with animals.
These guys deserve what they get. That's always been like the dichotomy of the Punisher is the fact that he uses these really extreme methods, but like he's never going after anybody that didn't bring it on themselves.
Nah. He's like Dexter. He's got his code.
Affleck had a crazy 2016 BBS accountant live by night filming Justice League while they were pushing. Yeah. Again, that's what the thing with the accountant a minute ago. I said it's like, well, I mean, Ben Affleck, he tends to be attached to franchises where it's like you never think you're going to see that sequel, so we all know where we all stand on that. So I make one-liners out of that anytime I get an opportunity.
I don't.
There we go. More Daredevil hallway fight scene goodness inspired by another thing that I really like making one-liners about on here. Wait, which one do you think? Which one do you think I could like? If you had to like bet, like which one do you think I could like make an entire stream without mentioning or like as a topic or like making like a joke or a one-liner out of the Snyderverse or the Raid? You think I could make it? You think I could make the Snyderverse before I could? You don't think I could? The Raid? You don't think I could? You think I could?
No, I think you would fail miserably on both.
That's probably true. You know what? I'm gonna take that bet. It's
You
like
just don't have the discipline. Sorry.
I'm gonna take that bet. It's like from I've got the for the rest of the
These guys were stupid.
yeah.
These guys were stupid.
Brad, thoughts on the Taken franchise? I like the first one, but then they kind of go downhill after that.
That's just that. Now the violence level is going to up in the next 5 minutes. This still goes on.
Do you think? Do you think we talk about like this us discovering through the watch party that that not as many people saw Daredevil at the time as we suspected? Do you think also because of the fact that the show and really like all of Marvel Netflix really, I think this applies across the board, like all of it was just so much more violent and so much more adult oriented that again it's not the 4-quadrant kind of franchise.
Yeah, I remember this shot. This guy's head up. I don't know why you said that. No, because I think because of those, they knew that they had a different audience. That's what allowed them to do this. This show is violent.
Yeah.
And then this guy, the guy who's directing it, and the people who are running it says Born Again is more violent than
God,
this
man.
This show is really fucking violent.
And again, like I said, it's not just Daredevil. It's like look at every single Marvel Netflix show. It's like all of them. Those are like the television equivalent of an R rating. Every single one of them would have gotten an R rating. Mighty Rax says he began testing on Avatar in '99 development. Yeah, like I said, Cameron, he takes forever because he believes in what he does, but it's so grandiose every time. It's literally like a generation before like you see the end product. But it's worth the wait.
You just keep stopping him from killing.
Yeah, see, this is also because you see now he's got the new version of the cowl. Yeah, season 2. It's like because I liked the suit reveal in the end of season 1, but I did feel like the cowl left a little bit to be desired. Season 2, that's where they really kind of perfect the cowl for me. I think it's because it is shinier. It's got a little bit. It's got more like lens flare to it. It's got the red is more pronounced on it. So yeah, I think that's why like once they got the Daredevil cowl in season 2, that's where they really kind of like stuck the landing for it on me.
It's TV series. I'm partial towards series than I am movies because you just get more time to develop people.
Well, and the thing about it, I think that's one thing that Marvel Netflix really kind of showed is that there are just certain characters that are better suited for like episodic. Some characters are better suited for movies and some are better suited for TV. And that's Marvel, DC. I mean, like Superman is like Superman. You can go either way with, but I mean, I don't know, like who's like a good DC one who like would be maybe like be better.
To me personally, if I ever got control of DC everything or DC anything, we're doing that Batman show I've been talking about.
Yeah. It's so weird because it's like the only live action one we've gotten. I mean, and I'm not counting Gotham because it's
I don't. In fact, let's just ban Gotham. Period.
My sister likes that show, so go on.
Crash.
But as far as like him in the cowl and like like properly Batman, the only live action one we've really gotten is the Adam West show.
Yeah, and which, like I said, the modern era is just.
And meanwhile, with Superman, we've had like multiple Superman live action shows.
Yeah, I want to do a crime procedural drama with Batman.
Yeah, it would be cool. I could see that. But again, like Batman, it's like obviously we've seen he functions very well cinematically too. So, but yeah, I think that is one thing that Marvel Netflix really displayed very well is that there just are certain superheroes. Like some are like some can be like movies and TV shows. Some are just you need to have them on the big screen. Some it's like they just thrive best on TV screens.
Yeah, but when it comes to Daredevil, I think 99.9% of its
it's unaware. The unawareness of people is the fact that it just wasn't the MCU.
This again, it's the cowl. The cowl just had such an upgrade in season 2. I'm like, it's just really reflected in this the way it's showcased from this episode on. And of course, you got the cool, the red, eye lenses.
Did you get a chance to switch out your headset?
No, not yet. Unfortunately, I didn't get to do that yet. Am I getting like
rhetorical question? Yes, it was a rhetorical question because I can.
I'm doing the best I can, man. It's like I'm getting back in the swing of things after like being like damn near dead, the last 2 weeks. Aaron says it makes all the sense why the dialogue scene between Frank and Matt was so good, and Irish and Italian Catholics go right. Yeah, that's true. It's actually and Frank is his Catholic background actually it's not as active in the status quo for Punisher compared to Daredevil, because Daredevil, yeah, it's very much like part of his personality. Frank Castle, he falls much more under being a lapsed Catholic, because he studied, he was a seminarian, he was very devout, and it's not like his faith left him, but just with the man he's become as the Punisher, obviously you can't really. It's kind of hard to square that with being like a the kind of like devout practicing Catholic that Daredevil is. The way the Punisher acts. Daredevil has it's hard enough doing it with your Daredevil. Imagine doing that as Punisher. I'm sorry, William. It's like I know you hate the movie, but that is a line in the Daredevil movie I always really got to laugh out of when Matt's.
There's nothing to like about it.
When Matt's in the confession booth talking to the priest, and the priest says, "I'm not crazy about the outfit either."
I spent 22 whatever years forgetting about that movie. The fact that you can quote that movie when I was just trying to get out of the theaters, that's a really bad movie.
It's not bad. It's just not as good as the show we're watching.
Nah, it's not. It shouldn't even be mentioned in the same sentence as the show we're watching.
Here's a good one.
That's like comparing Looney Tunes to The Godfather. That's the comparison between Daredevil and that movie was bad. And a waste of some really top tier talent too, by the way.
Does Punisher have underrated villains? Jigsaw really is kind of like kind of the nature of the Punisher. His goal is to kill the bad guys every encounter. So
yeah. He doesn't have a lot of A-listers.
Yeah, he does. By the nature of his mission and his character, it's kind of hard to have recurring villains for the or have a standing rogues gallery for the Punisher.
And the only time he has recurring videos is when he's using the ones that are shared by
when he's
and things like that.
Yeah, when he's teaming up with Spider-Man or Daredevil, and it's and he's fighting their villains basically. So Jigsaw is kind of is pretty much the only significant, unless I'm missing something, the only significant standing Punisher villain. Actually, here's something else I'm kind of curious to see too. When now that we're seeing Bernthal again on Born Again, and obviously I think it's a given that we're going to see him in his own show, Revival. I'm kind of curious, are we going to see Microchip finally?
If he gets his own show, yeah.
Because the only time we've seen Microchip live action wise was in Warzone.
Yeah, so we still haven't seen Microchip.
Oh, come on, man. Microchip, for those of you who aren't aware, it's he's Punisher's associate. He's tech support. He's you might say he's kind of like a little bit of like an Alfred to him.
He's his armorer.
Pretty much, yeah. So, yep, they're all in New York City. Daredevil, Spider-Man, and Fantastic Four. Baxter Building is one of the major kind of it's like the event. It's equivalent to the the Avengers Tower, or like the Oscorp Tower in terms of like Marvel landmarks in the Marvel like version of New York City. I bought Daredevil Director's Cut, but I've yet to watch it. I hear it's has quite a bit with John. Well, not just that, but also there's an entire subplot they took out where they're investigating like this guy who's played by Coolio, who's like kind of like this wrongfully accused criminal, and that kind of like forms like the basis for the story and the director's cut. I kind of have like a bit of a joke now where it's like something about Ben Affleck superhero movies. There's always a much better director's cut.
Hey, Daniel, see if you can take that back and actually get something worth the money you spent, dude. I hope you saved your receipt. There's no reason to own a physical copy of that movie. It's on streaming. You can watch it on Disney Plus. That's what it's worth.
Mr. Fantastic as a leader is a bit of a things relationships are always. Chuck, you are just on a roll tonight, man. Microchip is like Alfred or Whistler the Punisher, right? Yeah, he's his armor, as William said. He's his tech support. Some might say he's kind of like because he's nowhere near as bloodthirsty as Frank Castle, so he's
not a killer. He's the
he's the closest thing that Frank Castle has to anybody who kind of reins him in. To the extent that anybody kind of keeps Frank Castle in check, it's Microchip.
This scene lasted too long.
Yeah, it did kind of. It was a little long-winded. Well, especially because we just had in the last episode, the rooftop debate between them.
That's one of the improvements that they were going to make. By the way, they were going to shorten a lot of the dialogue.
Oh, for Born Again?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Something else too. With Charlie Cox, with and also I think Tyler Hoechlin as Superman also did this, but the idea of the superheroes having like a 5 o'clock shadow or having a lot of stubble, but not a full beard, but they clearly have it shaved. I don't know, something about that. That adds a little bit of adds a little bit of grit to them. It adds a little bit of the idea that these guys are so committed to their mission, not taking the time to shave. So it's kind of like and also you kind of have that with Ben Affleck's Batman too. You can have like the whole 5 o'clock shadow. I think it's kind of like it's not like a huge detail, but it's something I think it's a subtle thing that can kind of like add a little bit of the idea that the character is just so invested in what he's doing that there's outward signs of that. By the way, when Frank goes to prison, guys, it's pretty fun actually. So it's one of, as far as like the Punisher stuff, it's some of my favorite stuff in this season. It's like right up there with the monologue, the David Daredevil on the rooftop when he goes to prison and what he has to do there and who he maybe meets there.
By the way, when you watch that, go back if you haven't read Child's Play, Daredevil Punisher Child's Play that covered his little prison stint. Yeah.
Chuck Cage with a never-ending supply of dad jokes. Yes, indeed. Director of Daredevil will correspond on fan sites during the make. I was not aware of that. That guy also went on to do the Ghost Rider movie. The first one, Nick Cage.
Oh wow!
Yeah, well,
Nice.
that one. No, listen, that one's like it's not great, but it's. And listen, the first Ghost Rider, I can see that as being like a phase 1 or phase 2 movie. I can see that fitting tonally.
I'm just glad that we don't have to refer to some of these movies anymore because there are way better versions of some of these characters out there.
But what were your thoughts on the Ghost Rider that they brought in on Agents of Shield? Did you see that? Because that
I
was
gave up on Agents of Shield
Yeah,
really quick. It was not very good. I could.
Well, but again, they brought in the Robbie Reyes version on. He was actually he was kind of like a highlight, I hear, for a lot of people for his couple appearances he had in there. I wonder if that bar will feature. I would imagine so. It features again on the show. So the Human Torch loses arguments because God, you just sit awake at night like thinking these up, Chuck. Okay, definitely a chappy take here.
That's like pick your poison.
And the thing about it is that has Mephisto, or Rourke as he's called in Spirit of Vengeance. That is Kieran Hines played. So I kind of made the joke with him. It's like, as far as like his supervillain roles, Kieran Hines, okay. Mephisto, Joss's League, Steppenwolf, and then real Steppenwolf. So third time was the charm for him. Danny Ketch. Yeah, with the they kind of with the first movie they kind of merge a lot of Johnny Blaze and the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider is kind of into one character in that. I'm sure William wasn't a fan of that.
I'm not really. First of all, I'm not really a fan of Ghost Rider unless he's in a Doctor Strange story or that kind of. The comic itself was all right. The best version of it was the Danny Ketch version, the 1990 version with the glow in the dark covers and all that. It started off super strong, and then it got caught up in the whole Midnight Sun and all that other madness, and then just got watered down like all those books and that run did, and then it was over.
Nick Cage, he's played a fair amount of superheroes now. You think about it, Ghost Rider. He's got Spider-Man Noir coming up. He's finally been Superman. So.
I really, man, we dodged a bullet. We may have not gotten other Superman movies if they would
I don't care, William. I liked that cameo.
Trash ass cameo.
I love that cameo.
I was like, how embarrassing to the character.
I mean, think of the statement that cameo makes. Like DC movies and shows are canonical within the multiverse.
No, it says when you make shit, when you make garbage, it shouldn't see the light of day. That's what it says. When you make garbage,
they're still canonical. They're still
no. It should not be canonical. When you make garbage, you don't mix that in with anything else.
I'll take it for stuff with it's saying.
I'm
stuff
not that desperate.
Stuff that isn't made is still exists out in the multiverse. No, wink.
Do better. There's a reason why it didn't see the light of day. Take the clue. All right, take the clue.
Unmade DC movies exist in the multiverse.
No, they don't. No, wink. That's a horrible precedent to say. It's a horrible precedent. Let's
not
make
for guys like us.
Let's make some absolute trash, and because somebody
I will take it if it means
somebody who doesn't
leaving the door open for absolute gold.
No, keep the trash under the lid. You hurt your brand when you release.
William is like you're not thinking the big picture here. I don't know.
No. You're thinking like a curious fan. You cannot be thinking about somebody who will be running shit, whose legacy and reputation would be on the line. You put garbage like that out, you don't have a job.
Everybody listen to what I'm saying here. It's like via that cameo, even unmade DC movies exist in the multiverse. Wink.
Yeah, no, you see, you can't conflate that with that. You can't. One was trash.
Oh, doesn't mean I'm not going to.
Yeah, that's a stretch.
I
That
I
actually hurts your case. Actually,
I'm
that actually
flexible.
hurts your case.
I'm flexible. Drive angry. I enjoy Drive Angry. I enjoy Drive Angry. I mean, it's grindhouse, exploitation, just schlock, but it was bad. Oh, and by the way, look who we're about to see here. Yeah, making an electrifying debut.
Man, I wish they would have done better.
By the way, Elodie Young actually before she
Oh, by the way, she's not being recast. Somebody lied and said she was being recast.
before she got cast as Elektra, she actually had been a candidate for Wonder Woman.
I heard.
Yeah, so it was her. It was her. It was obviously Gal Gadot got it, but it was Gal, Elodie Young, and Olga Kurylenko. I think were like the kind of like the finalists, the final people on the short list.
All right, so we are on to season 2, episode 5, Kimbaku. I got mixed feelings about these next few episodes.
Well, this is where Elektra, comes into play.
Yeah, and this is probably, if I have to say, one of the longer low points for me of the entire series. It's these episodes because I just think they just did not do a good job.
This section of season 2 I remember did kind of drag a bit for me. I will concede that. Like when I first saw it,
the characterization of Elektra is not on.
Yeah, I do dig not though. Like, I do dig though these flashbacks to Matt and Foggy in college, where it's like the way they make them look younger. It's like just
that's kind of. But I was okay with that. I was okay with that.
Yeah.
If they would have nailed her, and I hope that with the improvements that they make, and if they got to bring her back, and if it's her, I hope they use this opportunity to do better than they did here, because I don't think this is Elektra you're saying. The right actress, she's perfect for the role, but man, it's like Tom Holland. Tom Holland perfect for Spider-Man. I just don't like what they did with him. Same thing here. All right, so we're gonna count down from 3, 2, 1, and play.
Oh, I was already like a minute and 15 seconds into it.
Oh, that's because you just auto played.
Yeah.
So now we're at zeros.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's why I was saying it's like as it shows them at that point. It's a flashback to Matt and Foggy in college, and it's like I do dig that's
hilarious.
That is a good way to actually. It's a clever, but it's not. It definitely didn't break their budget at all. Where it's like just like Foggy has longer hair and Matt has like this yuppie haircut, and so
that's really all they did is change the hair.
Pretty much, yeah. But I mean, it gets the job done. I mean, literally, it's like there's no de-aging at all they use. There's no like putting like the dots in their face. Aaron says, "Oh my God, they've done a rain scene like they did in the movie, except with Elektra. It's with Karen, but more romantic. It's something you would see." Yeah, I never made that connection. Now that I think about it.
Oh, that movie! Hey, listen, guys, please, for the sake of my psyche, can we not bring up that movie while we're watching this? Especially these episodes that I'm struggling with.
That was actually I thought was like a good use of the like the visual effects in the movie of as far as like the radar sensor. He's able to get an outline of her face by the sound of the raindrops falling on her. That was pretty well done. But yeah, this version is a better scene. Definitely, Aaron. I think also another way they kind of like make Matt, they again like take him back to like college days. He does, I think his dark glasses, they do have a different set of glasses for him. Like it's like these little tiny things they do to like, to signal like Matt and Foggy are like 8 years younger.
I just really, this is when I heard that she was going to be in this. I was really looking, because the relationship between Daredevil and Elektra is one of the most special things, and only Frank Miller could do it. That's why when you see later on, they didn't really, when John Romita and Anno Senti took over, they created Typhoid Mary because you could only one person could really do that relationship right. And now later on, they have some really cool stuff that they've done. But for this era of Elektra that they're trying to represent, it just doesn't click for me.
And Elodie Young also, before I saw her on Daredevil, I mean, the first thing I saw, because she's in France originally, and
She's in the cleaner too, or the maid.
she was yeah, she was in that recently, but she's also
She
in
was.
District 13 Ultimatum. Remember that where Spidey talking about like the funny moment that guy like driving. Where has Spidey been? I have not seen him in the chat in weeks.
He was here the other day.
Okay,
He was here for Excalibur. He's where his.
Okay. Well, because I wasn't again.
Yeah, somebody.
Again, guys, I was kind of out of condition recently, so. What did I? And listen, guys. One time I told William, it's like I wasn't sick, but there was like a reason I wasn't able to like stream that night or whatever it was, and he spells out to me PUSSY in the DM, like one letter at a time. Riff Raff Street Rat. I don't buy that, Chuck. Why is Spider-Man? What's the difference between Batman and Robert? Chuck. I mean, it's like this is gonna be this would be like William asking like me like Brad go a whole stream without talking about either the Snyderverse or the Raid. It's like Chuck, like just leave like a straightforward comment once, man. Can you do that? I could probably like go like a whole stream without talking about like some of those like cherished topics of mine before I think I might be able to do that before you'd be able to like. And listen, I love the humor, man. I just wonder like could you make it like a whole stream with like just leaving like just straightforward like comments. Ooh, never leave the K without it. That credit card, yes. And you know, this is maybe like my kind of like cultural ignorance speaking, but I mean, Elodie Young is from France, but she has like more like a British accent. So, and we've seen that in other celebrities like from France, like what's her name? Who was it? It was in Casino Royale. Was the Bond girl in that?
Eva Green.
Yeah, she has a similar thing where it's like, I mean, is there like a district in France where they like have British accents, or is it like a product of going to boarding school?
That's true.
Again, that's just my ignorance talking there, guys. I'm just woman that plays Elektra is in the show called The Clean Lady, and that's where I've ever seen her. Yeah, Elodie Young.
This conversation. It started off bad, like really good, really.
So I don't know. I forget where you said you ranked the show, but it sounds now. Is this like your, as far as like 3 seasons? Would you rank season 2 the weakest because of this with Elektra?
Yeah, it goes 1, 3, 2 for me.
And none of them are like lackluster. It's just yeah. I personally like rank them like from weakest to strongest. I rank them 2, 1, 3. Again, all of them are like I love the show throughout, but again, like the mid section of 2 that did the pacing felt a little bit off to me. I remember when I first saw it, I like a little bit off, like incrementally. Again, there is nothing that is like substantially drugged down the show.
This conversation that they're having now, I don't know where they drew their inspiration from.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I mean, this is definitely because the way they're portrayed in the comics, and William just did it again. He did it again, guys. He DM'd me PUSSY 1 letter at a time.
Apple.
Oh yeah, Apple. That's what that spells. Okay.
No, capital letters.
Oh yeah, all caps too.
Yeah. It's because there was any.
Yeah, in case I couldn't figure it out. I guess I can get the message. Okay, but what was I saying? Shit, you made me lose my train of thought.
That's easy. I don't have to.
Oh yeah, well, that what I was getting at here is the way they're introduced, Daredevil, because Daredevil, Elektra, they're in the comics, their relationship, they're very much like Batman and Catwoman. Um, but this the way they're introduced on the show here, it's clear they've had some kind of falling out when they first reconnect.
The level of just the whole disparity. I need a lawyer, Matthew.
Actually, I did kind of dig that she refers to him like, not as Matt but as Matthew.
Well, that's not that part. That part is fine, but I need a lawyer. Can you help me, Matthew? Get the fuck out of here. Like I said, her and Karen Page, I wish we could just hit the restart button.
So who is Matt's greatest love, Elektra or Karen? That's a kind of a loaded question. I don't know what you say there.
Throw Black Widow in there because he bangs the hell out of her.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Matt Matt definitely he's a little bit of a Casanova, actually.
Yeah, for a blind guy, he knows how to find the hole there.
That's well, I guess they couldn't do that now with the Black Widow death in Endgame, but so I guess we're not going to see their
death, Brad.
Well, that's true. Yeah, well, okay, but do you think that we'll ever see that romance?
No, because I don't think she's got a. I don't think she's coming back in that role. I mean, for any amount of amount of time.
And what kind of guy do you? Oh, Chuck. Have you heard the Incredible Hulk's new fashion line? It's all the rage. What did Batman do when he went shopping? Got ham. I mean, that one's a little bit of a stretch there, man, but I basically get it. If I could be any superhero, I think I'd be Aluminum Man. My power would be foiling crime. You just can't be stopped, Chuck. I mean, I can't even I can't make raid references as just as well integrated as your one-liners, man. I mean, there will be points where I'll just I mean, I'll run out of ideas. I'll just say, hey, you know what? I like the raid. Yes. In the comics, yes.
Hold on, wait.
Oh, Aaron asked, he's Black Widow too. Yes, in the comics they have.
Oh yeah, and it's graphic. It's graphic.
So basically, the only because those are his three big romances. They're are
Typhoid Mary.
Okay, 4 big. She is on Marvel Netflix. She's just not on Daredevil. She was on Iron Fist. But four big romances are Typhoid Mary, Karen Page. That show is awesome from season 2 on. Typhoid Mary, Karen Page, Elektra, and Black Widow are Daredevil's big romances.
That Typhoid Mary, that's another one that they just really should not have done. Which is kind of sad because those are really characters that you have a lot of. When you're going to do those characters, you really have all the time in the world to be able to get them right, and they didn't. I just don't know how you got these characters wrong. And this socializing Elektra, what was this?
Oh, it's better handled in the movie, and that's an area where
it's not. No, it is not. All right, stop making that movie worse.
Listen, that is something I will totally say the movie is asked for is that Elektra.
No, neither one of them. Neither one of them got the character.
Elektra is so nerfed in the Daredevil movie.
Neither one of these productions got the character right. All right, the next time they get it right will be the first time because neither one of those.
Yeah, you know who did get it right? You know who did get it right was Deadpool Wolverine.
No, I love that woman.
She is kicking ass in those time, man.
You know what? Kicking ass and being Elektra, that's not the same. See, that's the thing. That's a problem, especially with that movie. If you don't really grasp the character, then anybody with a red suit and a sword can be Elektra. That's not good. All right, if you don't truly understand the characters, this shit right here, that passes. And it's sad because number one, A, I don't think Jennifer Gardner was the one for that role, but B, this lady was. And this, I'm sorry, I don't recognize this. What's on my phone right now?
Daniel says Matt Murdock is somewhat of a playboy, ladies. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
he give Tony Stark a run for his money. as far
and
as
he
far as
actually
like,
gets the woman, so
Hmm.
and he ain't rich.
I mean, he's a lawyer. He does pretty well for himself. Was
Yeah,
Elektra ever given powers besides resurrecting? Not that I'm aware of. She's pretty much. I mean, her powers, are, or her abilities, are pretty
Okay.
much equivalent to Daredevil's in the sense that she's a ninja.
Yeah,
So
you need to
she
get off the sauce. It's too late. It's too early in the morning to be smoking whatever the fuck you were smoking.
Well, see that was my my big problem with her portrayal in the movie was that again she didn't feel like a ninja. She didn't feel like a warrior. She felt
She was
like
an Electra, dude.
she felt like a college girl who like took a few karate classes and like and like decided to fight crime all of a sudden.
That interpretation in that movie was criminally bad. Once again, if you don't have a grasp of the character, I guess it's okay. If you do, it's not good. Same here, but on a different level. Like this shit here at the car.
Yeah, see, Aaron like would teach the movie's Electra a thing or two. Aaron, baby sis, show her the way.
That's still
Matt also married Black Ridley. Yes, I remember seeing a lot of fan art too. Like I think it was like right after Winter Soldier came out. There was a lot of fan art that had it was like like that ship scene where Captain America he kind of like picks up on like, oh, this mission isn't what I thought it was, and he kind of has Black Widow by the arm, and there was a lot of fan art that swapped Captain America out for Daredevil.
yeah, fan art.
Oh, I mean, it's pretty well done. It's fan art, man. It's like, I mean, nothing to object to there.
Yeah, not a big fan. I'm all right with fan art as long as that's where it stays.
I mean, it's not. It's a canonical romance, so. It's not like saying like, hey, let's pair up, Pattinson's Batman with like insert Superman here, Daredevil work for the government. Well, Matt Murdock,
Reluctantly.
Matt Murdock, because he's a lawyer, he definitely works with the Justice Department here and there. But Daredevil again, he's I think the closest like he usually does as far as like a team he's been a part of. He's been part of New Avengers at points, but again, it's never been like for an extended period. He's not an Avenger. I mean, that's the thing. Daredevil is not an Avenger. Does Daredevil have any go-to must-read story arcs outside of Born Again? Oh, that's a good one. That's a good William question.
Born Again. Born Again
Fear.
actually comes later on. You really need to start.
Guardian Devil's a good one.
Yeah.
Start
with Daredevil 168 and go all the way up to 191.
The Man Without Fear too.
Man Without Fear is good. Start with 168, and go. You start with 168. Go to 227 to 230, 234, and then those other ones he mentioned. You can go with those in that order though.
And a much more recent one is Shadowland. Like Shadowland, I really like Shadowland.
That's actually pretty old, but it's a good one though.
Well, it's the most recent of.
Oh, you're talking about You're not talking about the. I know what you're talking about now. I'm thinking of Black and Red.
Give Me an Electric Sequel. Jenna Garner with Zack Snyder directing it.
No,
well,
I don't think Zack Snyder could save that movie.
Well, he's even talked about like as far as like what Marvel characters he'd want to tackle, like Elektra. Like he would want, he's been very clear he's a big Frank Miller fan.
I would love to see him do it, but he can't use anything from that.
What did he say? Like the story he was most enamored with was like Electra strikes again or kills again. What was it called again?
Selector Assassin.
Yeah, damn it. What was the? I'm gonna Google it real quick.
Because Electra, by design, was an awkward, antisocial individual. She wasn't like this.
Yeah, Electra lives again. Yeah, he talked.
Oh yeah,
about,
that's what I'm talking about. That's encompassed in the 191 from 168 to 191 when she comes back.
Zach was just, I don't know if he's a fan of the movie, but he was definitely a fan of fan of Ben as like, this guy would make an awesome Batman.
He would have to, yeah. Like I said, let's stop bringing up that 2003 shit.
Chappie or throw or
Chappie,
someone throw money so we can do the watch party of the Daredevil movie.
I'm going to listen. I got my little thing right over here. I'm hovering. You're hovering with extinction.
Baby sis, with the cues of violence.
You guys bringing up this Daredevil thing. I mean, 330 seconds is a long time to not be around.
Yeah, even Electra, they kind of with her hair and like her wardrobe, they do they kind of even though she's not like a law school student like them, they do a pretty good job of like showing like the passage of time, like these showing these guys as like you look back on these, they would look back on these flashbacks and go like, yeah, we were so young.
Yeah, I'm taking. You just need to sign me over your credit card number if we're gonna watch that piece of shit.
Have you seen the director's cut?
No.
Well, because like I said, it's like that's the trend with Ben Affleck superhero movies. Is like it's always the director's cut that's like that fixes things.
Okay, that's like spraying perfume on a pile of a dumpster. It's just not. There's nothing that's saving that movie for me.
And see, this is one area where Elodie Young's Elektra definitely overrides Jennifer, and it's not Garner's fault.
In no way, shape, or form should those performances ever be compared.
Well, that's why I said it's like my big letdown in the movie was that Elektra. She didn't feel like she didn't feel like a warrior to me. It's like this Elektra feels like a warrior.
That movie was so awful. Mac Daddy Murdoch. And they just met too, and they're just already fucking nuts.
Could we? Okay, now finally got a straightforward question from Chuck. Can we watch Dawson's Creek? I don't think you get William up over that.
I just don't have the bandwidth to watch that anymore.
She is a very pretty Elektra. I think she's talking about Jennifer Garner here, but she doesn't have the muscle or frame to play her because isn't the character based on Elektra is jacked. In the comics, Elektra is ripped.
She's a beanpole, but she's all muscle.
Yeah, she is because again, she's a ninja. She's a warrior, so she that definitely is.
And she's cold.
Yeah,
she's cold. She has a cold personality during this part of her. She grows a personality later on after she comes back, but during what they're depicting here, she's cold. When she gets killed by Bullseye in the comics, she's on her way to kill Foggy. She loves Matt, but hey, let's come kill your best friend. How about that? That's how cold Elektra is. It's all business to her.
And I'm gonna pull up a comics image of Elektra.
Pull up, Bill Sikowitz or Frank Miller's.
I know exactly the one I'm thinking of. Oh yeah, this is from the Wikipedia page, and this is like the quintessential like
the Electro Assassin one.
Yeah, this is like the quintessential like Elektra comic book image. I mean, when you think of like Elektra from like her comic book background made into an image, I mean, this is it. I mean, yeah, this is what you think of this is the image that your mind should conjure when you think of Elektra.
Not what I was thinking you were going to pull up.
Oh, you don't think? Oh, okay.
No.
What should I type in?
Electro Assassin.
Okay. Oh,
That's
so you're talking about? Oh, there we go. Yeah.
That's Electra. Tall, skinny. She's beautiful, but she's not like.
It's totally unrealistic.
She's beautiful by
default like that too, but
yeah, she's beautiful by default, but she's not. This character, this one that we're watching right now, that's not her.
Mighty Rax, Michael Wilkinson. Wow, did I know that one? Now,
by the way, when she speaks with a heavy Greek accent.
Yeah, that is true. She hasn't had her bandana in live. That's something I hope we do see. We see Elodie on next, because that's actually something that I don't think any version so far has like gotten this right. Is the costume? Is they've all and it's not they haven't been like terrible. They just haven't like really like captured. Again, let me pull up that one I had of a minute ago. It's like I want to see this image brought to life. Like Defenders, like the initial Defenders suit is pretty good, but again, it's not this.
She had no business in that show.
I want to see this image right here, like brought to life, like
what
bandana, red suit, Psy. That's what, Chappie. We are not doing this. We already did Jaws 3 for you, man. God, Jaws the Revenge. I mean, I don't even know where to start with like how bad that is.
Like her costume, her eventual costume in the show was okay, but they could have done better.
I know. I think the bandana. Like I do want to see that added though. I think that adds a lot to like when I think of like the quintessential Elektra image. We haven't gotten that yet, so yeah, I do hope that we see that next time we see her. They ate my lunch at work, so I bought a box of Dunkin' Donuts filled with a vegetable platter. Okay, now you're not even trying, man. Fourth. It's interesting because there was a rumor that he was that he was going to be in Deadpool and Wolverine, and I think that got walked backwards. Like, no, he just visited the set because Garner was there, and I mean, he does get name dropped. I don't know. I thought that would have been kind of interesting if they did. I mean, we got Gambit that was never again in that
Yeah,
movie.
and wow, was that a joy?
Again, William, you're not seeing with the horse for the trees here. These
No.
unmade
No,
things
you
are
hurt
now
your case. No,
canonized in
you
the
actually cut
multiverse.
your legs out.
Wink.
When you look, no, he's no wink because you
There's
take your eye
anyway.
out if it's shit. It doesn't help the case for better stuff to
The
get
thing
bought.
I'm alluding to is not shit.
Yeah, but when you put out shit, it hurts the case for the good stuff to ever come to the surface. See what I mean? Nobody wants to take a risk on these other
people didn't
things
think it was
when
shit. Clearly,
the ones that have been put out are garbage. It's a hard ass to say, hey,
if Tatum gets that, if we see him again, then it's like
that's an if. That's
I'm
hope.
gonna die on that hill.
Yeah, you will Bobby die on that hill. That's probably you have a better chance of that than some of the stuff ever seen the light of day.
So listen, I can hold out. Trust me. I was on the Superman trailer for All Star Game when we get it. Probably around. Well, that I don't know. That's a really good question, man. I mean, the marketing that Warner Brothers is just like that whole department just needs to be fired. And I've been saying that for like 5 years. There's so many people in the studio that have their heads so far up their asses, it isn't even funny.
They're all gone now. You're talking about
yeah, but they got more idiots in there. And we all know how I feel about David Zaslav. So, which is
if you're
better.
being fair about David Zaslav, though, what he inherited wasn't good.
All right, we'll get that. Which movie is better? The Daredevil movie. Daredevil. Oh, Daredevil. Way better.
They're both sewage.
Way better. The Electro movie. Actually, the Electro movie. It's
like
not.
What's better? What's better, vomit or feces?
It's not. It's not. The Electro movie. It's not like Catwoman bad, but it's like it's not good at all. And it didn't. When you talk about like it's why I wrote that one article where I said like Wonder Woman. When you think about it, it's like that's the again female led superhero movies. Again that are generally well liked, box office success, and like having like a long standing like reputation of positivity. That's the only one that's managed all of those. And Elektra like did not do it any favors when that came out. I know shit and Ben Affleck. Well, Williams Fly begs to differ. I know shit. Ben Affleck's Daredevil's not shit. And we got our first Jessica Jones name drop here.
The horny one.
Daredevil 2003 was the original CBMs that suffered the fate of everyone saying it sucks without seeing it before social media was around. I don't know if I go that far. Man. Which again, it's like I don't have Williams' disdain for it. But again, it's like it's not on the level of the show. Oh, Foggy's girlfriend called Daredevil. She fits, you know. Oh, here's a good one, William. I think Daredevil 2003 is way better than the Green Lantern 2011, and both have fans still say the movie is not completely terrible. I mean, you know. I'll just leave it at that. Iron Man, the Silver Surfer team. Okay, we're back to we're back to happy hour now with Chuck. Right back, guys. Nah, ain't no panel night, man. Just watching the episodes and giving our commentary. So it looks like Karen is in Born Again. Yes, she's back in Born Again, and by all outward indications, yes, she and Matt will be back together. Jon Favreau was inspired to make a. Well, he wasn't like inspired to, but the again that he had like that established like a working relationship between he and Kevin Feige, so that did facilitate him directing Iron Man and playing Happy Hogan. Yeah, William, as much as you're loath to admit it, the Daredevil movie did actually provide a pathway to the beginning of the MCU.
No, it didn't.
That set up well, as I said, that
No,
set up
he was working with
Favreau's like working relationship with both Feige.
He knew who he was years before that. That didn't set up anything.
William will not credit the Daredevil movie for anything
because it wasn't very good. I don't get any high off of saying something that was bad is good. That's a bizarro world. I mean, if it was any good, I would say it was good. It wasn't good.
Oh, Daniel, this is harsh. I would rewatch both Daredevil and Green Lantern and The Flash, where I rewatched the new Captain America, the new Captain. Well, again, The Flash, I legit like. Green Lantern, I think is okay. Daredevil, I think is okay.
I don't know how much more of this Elektra I can watch. Again, this is just cringe.
Oh, Chuck. Here's a good one for Chuck. B. Yeah, next time Ray is on, I'm sure she's gonna like bring the thunder on the Daywalker.
Yeah, I wish the people who one of these days the actual people who make these movies will catch up to where you guys are at, because obviously you guys are in two different places.
So did Matt and Karen break up in the show? Because I don't know if it's true, but he was with She-Hulk. Well, he just had a little fling with She-Hulk on our show. Yeah, they didn't like break up.
I'm so happy that the character recovered from that, because that was
I think it's like that's definitely probably of like all the Daredevil stuff we've seen since the beginning of the Netflix show. She-Hulk, I think most people would agree, is definitely the lowest point.
By the way, guys, if you are if you're reading the recommended material that I consistently bring up, and as far as like Daredevil 168 to 191. Elektra Assassin, things like that. My apologies in advance that this show doesn't resemble any of that. but they tried.
How
tried.
likely do you think it is? Because I don't think she's confirmed to it. It's like you said, she's not being recast, but it's not confirmed. If Elektra's going to be on Born Again, how likely would you think it is that we're going to see her on Born Again?
80%.
You think it's that? You think it's that close to a certainty?
Yeah.
We'll find out
if
about.
20% doesn't happen, it would suck because I would like another shot at this character.
Well, if she does appear,
because she's a perfect build, she's a perfect everything.
To what extent? To what extent do you think her role? Because it's kind of like when I say, any of the Defenders characters appearing, I think it'll just be like a cameo. But her, I think would be more than
she could work for the Kingpin again. She could work for the Kingpin.
It would be more than a cameo, but I don't think it would. I think it would be. I think if she's on the show, in a significant capacity, it'll be one of those things where it's like a mid-season reveal, where it's like we get halfway through the season and we find out she's on the show.
It could be, but like I said, I could clearly easily see her working for Wilson Fisk.
As far as She-Hulk is concerned, yes, that's kind of why we put She-Hulk out of our memory.
There's a lot of things I'm trying to put out of my memory tonight. You guys are not helping. You're bringing up all the awful things that have Daredevil out of them.
In an absolute sense, no. On She-Hulk, yes. So forget She-Hulk.
Forget She-Hulk. Forget 2003. Forget this interpretation of Elektra. Please. As much as you can while still watching it.
Big fans of the first. Oh, it's my favorite season of the whole show. It is the peak of Daredevil for me. Is season 3. Season 3. I can't wait till we get to that.
Get to what?
Get to season 3. That is the best.
It's my second favorite. Yeah, of the 3.
Okay, Chappie. Again, we've been very clear we don't like She-Hulk, but even I won't go this far, and I don't think William will either.
Yeah, when they were writing in the comics, they actually interacted with each other. That's how sad that the mischaracterization of both of these characters has been.
You are the fire, the one desire. All right.
All right. Well, something's going on in the chat tonight. I don't quite know what the hell it is, but hey.
I ordered a Halloween Blade costume from Temu and looked like a butter knife. Sorry, just asking questions on what is can. Well, I'm gonna go. I'll go ahead and pull this up, Aaron, because they have kind of addressed that as far as what Born Again is going to be building off of. Let's see if I can find this. Just bear with me here. I'm trying to pull this one quote up where they talked about it. And I mean, Aaron, to be clear, it's Matt absolutely has a lot of romances.
Yeah, he's an unassuming Mac Daddy.
Yeah. I think in some circles, I read the Wikipedia page for him. Let me pull this up here from his Wikipedia page, the character's Wikipedia page.
Yes, I do. I really do, because I want to see. I want to see them do better than they did in this show. I really do want to see her in there.
Yeah. So, yes, this is from the personality and motivation section on the Daredevil Wikipedia. Murdoch is a devout Catholic and often tormented by religious and moral guilt. However, he also has many romantic affairs, which frequently end badly. Miller.
Crazy people.
Miller also sees the character as driven by sensuality. Psychologist Travis Langley and literary scholar Christine Hainfaw comment that this disposition could be described as a sensation-seeking personality trait. They note that while Murdoch has had many lovers, he takes the approach of serial monogamy rather than promiscuity or sex addiction.
Yeah, he takes his opportunities.
Yeah, so it's like he's with a lot of women, but only one at a time, basically. But yeah, now going back to the canonicity question. So this is from the showrunner Dario Scartapane. He had been asked about this via Games Radar. He had said, and talking about like what Born Again is building from. Marvel has a master plan, and what you're doing causes ripple effects. I have plenty of leeway up until I hit the larger scale plan for the MCU. So I try to ignore some stuff from the wider universe. We establish a very specific Daredevil, both in terms of his dilemma down to the suit and where we're picking up in his life. You can say Daredevil is canon to the MCU, and by that he means the show, the Netflix show. Those other events in Spider-Man: No Way Home and She-Hulk happened, but some of them we are not leaning into. His one-night stand with She-Hulk may be one of those things. So basically, they're saying there it's like we're not like actively retconning She-Hulk, but you can basically ignore it.
Yeah, we're not going to focus on it, and if you don't bring it up, we won't, which is fine.
It just seems so out of character for Matt She-Duder's religious beliefs when it came to that She-Hulk show. Yeah, there was a lot of things. That was not a recognizable Daredevil at all.
This walk of shame was so pathetic. I'm like, what are you doing?
Poor Charlie Cox in that too, because he had just been in No Way Home, and that was like his first time as far as like doing like Daredevil stuff again since his comeback, and that's the first thing. And I mean, Echo at least, had it, handled it much better. But you're just in No Way Home. You got that like show stealing like brick catching good lawyer cameo. One of the biggest movies ever made. It's like the next time we see you as Daredevil, it's like come on. But you do think we'll see She-Hulk again, though? I don't think we're gonna see.
I think we'll see a real quick cameo and like a courtroom scenario since they're both lawyers. That's about it.
Yeah.
And not necessarily as She-Hulk either. It could be just Jessica Walsh.
Yeah, I can definitely see seeing the character again, but I don't think we're getting into a season of the show itself. William and Brad, Braden asks, what did you think of Bullseye and Daredevil season 3, and are you excited for him return to Born Again?
No and no.
Yes and yes.
No. I thought what they did with him is criminally stupid in this show. Yes, I'm looking forward to him in the same way I'm looking forward to Elektra. I hope they get it right this time.
Well, and now
Bullseye's a character. You fuck with anything with it, you ruin the character.
And see, that's again, this is where I say it's like they set up him, getting the suit perfectly. It's like he has a replica of the Daredevil suit, so it's like paint it blue, Bullseye, take off the horns. There you go.
The personality, the trait, everything wasn't just no. Once again, if you just have listen, I'm not knocking. I'm not trying to call anybody dumb, so just make sure we get that clear. But if you have just this grasp for the characters that Netflix has shown you, and you don't know anything else, you're going to come from a different place than I am. So we'll just leave it at that. If you're going to do a character based on a comic character that has distinctive traits, and you don't have any reason not to go away from those traits, then you really shouldn't. And there are several characters in this great show that they really hurt the characters by doing that. And he's one of them.
Aaron says, so She-Hulk seems to be nothing more than someone's fan fiction. That's the way it kind of plays it.
Yep, that's
I think when all's said and done, it'll probably. I think we kind of look back on. At least I do, and I think a lot of people do. It's kind of look back on She-Hulk as kind of like the Marvel equivalent of like Wonder Woman 1984, where it's like
a waste of time.
Or it's like, or like you can like headcanon that's like a dream that the character had. But it's like it didn't like actually happen and like happened like in their head. It's like, oh, I had like a fever dream about this one event. So That's a way to look at it. Although I do think Wonder Woman 84 is much better than She-Hulk. There are things about Wonder Woman 84 I really like. The whole thing doesn't come together though. I liked it more at the time, but I've really kind of like mellowed on it since.
I remember blowing a Christmas Day watching that movie.
William Brad, how would you feel if Foggy and Karen died and Born Again? I definitely hope that happen.
If you're just killing them to kill them, I don't see any reason for them to die. There's other people that you can kill
Yeah.
in Daredevil that
Yeah.
that can keep pushing that around.
No, but I just said I thought it was better than She-Hulk.
Yeah, this Elektra is just annoying to watch. This is going to be some hard episodes for me to get through, guys.
Sorry, you owe an apology to Howard the Duck after watching She-Hulk.
No, I don't.
I mean, we've done 2 watch parties of that horrible movie. I mean, what more what more benefit of the doubt can we give it? I know Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. wasn't part of the MCU. I stopped watching it when it was said that wasn't part of its canon.
Yeah, that killed that show. That show was dead when they did that.
That show just never really came together for me, really.
Me either.
I'm actually kind of, I'm kind of impressed it ran as long as it did. It ran like 7 seasons, didn't it?
I think 4, didn't it? Was it 4?
No, it ran like
was
7.
it 7?
No, it ran like 7.
I tapped out so early, so yeah.
No, it had a pretty good run. It ran for 7 seasons of 136 episodes. So, there was an audience for it.
I can't believe that show lasted that long.
Had Ming Na Wen on there. She's gonna be in Karate Kid Legends coming up. She was on The Mandalorian. She is now on the other side of 60, and she looks exactly the same as she did when she was Chun-Li.
A fucking awful movie. Hey guys, are we capable of bringing up good movies or just
Sure, we talk about
shit? That's like good.
We talk about The Raid. It's a great movie. The Raid 2 is as well.
Okay, that's a no. You just said that's a no. All right. The things
you said bring up stuff. It's like. Do you think that we'll actually, you're presuming, and I think the chances are definitely fairly high that seeing Elektra in Born Again. Do you think we'll see like a proper Daredevil and Elektra like a team up, like we're like seeing them fighting side by side?
I don't know. I would hope that they do something better. That I hope so. I
think it's like at this point. I mean, we've seen her as an antagonist.
It's going to be really hard to undo this performance. So that's that thing. Even though I hope they try, it's going to be really hard to do this misinterpretation of this character.
It's cool to see they've retconned this Daredevil shit. One, they've retconned all of Marvel Netflix into the proper canon. Yeah. again, there are very few things that they're kind of actively, but the only things they seem to be actively kind of pushing out of their rear view are She-Hulk and what was it, Humans. I remember when Humans came out. It's like that. That was the first time I remember like reading like just horrible reviews for anything with the Marvel logo on it during that time frame. I mean, that got absolutely destroyed.
By the way, Matt is not this whiny little bitch that he's in these episodes too. So yeah.
Alrighty, and that is episodes 4 and 5 of Daredevil season 2. Everybody.
All right, yes. Yeah, these are not going to be the most enjoyable stretch of episodes for me. Not because they're not quality episodes, but once again, we're depicting a pre-existing character, and there are certain aspects about those characters that you just can't change and make it enjoyable for me. Yeah, I understand taking your own interpretation of these characters, but at the same time, there are certain things that just need to be there. You know, there's a lot of room for you to work with these characters as far as having creative licenses, but there's still things that you just got to keep in order for the relationship to be the same, in order for them not to become just generic characters in a costume. Anybody can put on a costume. These characters have distinct personalities, and I just didn't see it in the stretch of episodes. Spider-Man is superhumanly strong and superhumanly fast on a level that Daredevil isn't, and he has superhuman strength. Daredevil is the more experienced fighter, and he has held his own against Spider-Man, but it's only because Spider-Man was holding back. Spider-Man knew that if he connected with him with all of his strength, he'd kill him. So, all right. Well, that's it. Yeah, this is a pretty late one. This is pretty weird for us to be doing this one. But we got to make up some ground in order to, and plus we need to get past these episodes. If the only thing that we achieve is we get past this stretch of episodes, I'm okay with doing these late at night, because these are probably my least favorite episodes coming up. We got past 2 of them, so I think we got a couple more before it gets back to where
we'll talk about when we see like a Punisher in prison here, that is the as far as like his portion of the show, that's probably my favorite. Because again, you get to see him go full Punisher at points. You get to see him meet other characters.
Yeah, the thing about with the Punisher, what they did with the Punisher, is the exact opposite of what they did with Elektra. So they can do it. These people who put this show together, they had the talent to do this, and it's weird because I'm watching the same show where they nail certain characters 100%, and then they just completely miss on others. And these are the same people. It's not like a Jekyll and Hyde situation. These are the same people who, how do you get Punisher dead on and you don't get Elektra dead on? You're basically drawing from the same era. So really disappointed with her. I like her as an actress. I hope she gets another bite at the apple. And I hope they do her right this time. But you know what? Even this, like I said, this is the weakest of the Daredevil season. Season 2 is the by far. It's not even close. The weakest of the 3. So that's just my opinion. No, never. That's a never. I'll fucking shut the channel down before I do Smallville. I have too much dignity for the Sci-Fi Center Presents to ever.
Well, we're gonna have to let me take that one then, guys, and that'll.
And I don't feel like killing my viewership either with that show.
Why? There are clearly people who want to watch it.
Not on this channel.
Thunderbolts, Ross, VP was never made. Maybe it's Valentina. Yeah, they never did go into like who his VP is in Brave.
Well, no, because she's not because she has actually powers and authority. VP is powerless, so she's in part of a government agency. Yeah, she's part of a government agency where she wields power. Because the only time a vice president has power is when the president is incapacitated.
It's when the president is undergoing like a colonoscopy or something,
or they're dead or physically, mentally incapacitated. Now, you could make a bigger argument for her being the president, because at the end of Captain America, the movie, spoiler alert, we already spoiled it tonight, is he is no longer president. He gave up his office. But you would have known by now if she was the president, and I don't think she is. All right, guys. I'm all right with it. I mean, that's something that they pulled off fairly well in the books, in the comics. So I'm okay with that. And he's a perfect kind of character for the type of mayor that he is. Corrupt. If you look at what's going on with the current mayorship in New York right now, it's really weird that we're having that kind of parallel. Eric Adams might not even be mayor by within the next week because he can be removed, and he's fighting corruption charges and all that. So here we have the Kingpin, who is literally the embodiment of corruption, running for the mayor of New York City. So yeah, that's cool. All right, guys. We'll have to ponder on when we do the next one of these. So keep an eye on the bell. Like, subscribe right under our heads here. YouTube.com/at the Sci-Fi Center. If this is your first time, we've done this. We're in the second season. We're moving our way halfway, so you can go back and watch those. I've stated the reading material over and over again, but I'm going to start putting it in the description. I keep reminding myself, but we got time. But like I said, if you are once you read that Frank Miller stuff, this show more times than not captures the essence of that, even though they didn't with certain characters. The overall judgment of this show is that it came as close as it is. It came really close. Like I said, Karen, no. Electra, no. But overall, Matt, except for these episodes, and I can't believe you manipulated me. Oh my God, my butt hurt. I'm like, what the fuck? That's not Matt Murdock. That's not even the Matt Murdock that's consistent with this show. That's the thing about it. The Matt Murdock that we got for the previous 15-something episode, that wasn't. I don't know what we just watched. You manipulated me. My feelings are hurt. You're not going to push me. Oh my God, what the hell was that? So yeah, we'll get through this season. We'll get through this season, and then we get to season 2. And then by that time, we're on the board again. So I hope you guys who are watching this, I hope we're helping you embrace, re-embrace if you've already done it, or embrace for the first time. For many of you, the majority of you that I encounter, you're watching this for the first time. So congratulations. I'd like to hear how you feel about it. If you are a reader of the content of the books, comic books, and graphic novels, let me know. Do you agree with me, or do you think this is okay? I mean, would you rather see a better interpretation of the characters that I'm bringing up? It's all subjective, but all right, we'll be back on the air tomorrow night, probably with just a standard show, and then we'll hit back and try to do 2 or 3 more episodes before the end of this week. I'm going to try to get this season done, but like I said, we got other shows that's happening too. So, all right, I will see you guys tomorrow night with some type of sci-fi.
There it is.